Hello. Um,
Howdy.
how are you guys doing today?
I'm all right.
I'm living.
Good. My name is Megan, and I am a family therapist here at the clinic. I will be working with you guys throughout your journey here. Today, we are going to start by filling out a family therapy intake form. I already gathered your demographic stuff, but I would like to start with Roger. Are you employed at this time?
I'm currently unemployed.
Do you mind providing the explanation?
Well, I got drunk and drove the forklift into the side of the building.
Okay. And Philip, are you employed at this moment?
Yeah, I got like 4 jobs right now. I work all part time. So my first job, I'm a crab washer at the Red Lobster. So I prep all the seafood, and that's about 3 to 8 hours a week, depending on when they need me. And then I drive for Uber when I have time, and then I do DoorDash when I'm not doing Uber. And then after that, I'm in training to become a masseuse. So I quote unquote intern as a masseuse.
Okay. And just the next question is, how did you guys find this clinic?
The Googler, that's how I found it. It was good.
Yeah, Philip here is good with that technology stuff. Never really understood it, and he looked it up on the Googler for us.
Okay, awesome. Well, I'm glad you guys are here today. The next section that we're going to go through is going to be all about mental health and physical health. And I have to ask you guys both questions. So, Roger, we'll start with you, and then I'll ask Philip. Okay, so the next part, we are going to go through psychiatric and medical history, and we are going to start with Roger. So, Roger, can you tell me any psychiatric or quote unquote mental problems that you have been diagnosed with?
Well, when I was like 10, 15 years ago, doctor said I was an alcoholic and overweight and have severe depression.
Okay. And did you ever get any treatment for those?
Well, I switched to light beer, trying to lose some weight, lost 10 pounds since then. Lost my foot, but
Okay. Um, Besides the overweight or the your doctor telling you you were overweight, did you have any other, well, and your foot falling off, did you have any other medical problems that you've been diagnosed with?
nope, I haven't been a doctor in 15 years.
Okay. Are you currently on any medication?
Nope.
Okay. And then Philip, are you, do you have any psychiatric problems you have been diagnosed with?
No, Dad won't let me go to the doctor. He says it's bad for our health. So he told me that if I go to the doctor, I'm cut off from the will. So I don't know. I have a lot of night terrors, and I don't sleep too well. And Dad's an alcoholic. He doesn't like to admit it, but he drinks, a whole fifth of Captain and then downs it with a fifth of Jaeger and staggers around for 2 hours while he yells at me. So that's all I got. I'm pretty sure that I have a lower IQ, and I may be special needs or have some form of learning disability. After eighth grade, it was very hard for me to learn. And like I said, I asked Dad to go to the doctor, and Dad said the doctor was a quack, so I can't go at all. So I'm pretty sure I have some mental disabilities and stuff like that, but he doesn't want me to get saw by a doctor. So I have to just live in constant fear.
Okay. Roger, if we could set you and Philip up with an assessment for Philip to get evaluated by one of our psychologists here, would you be okay with that?
Yeah, fine.
Okay, great. Just to be on the safe side and arm Philip with all of the tools he can be armed with so he succeeds. Philip, do you have any physical or medical problems that you have been diagnosed with?
Well, I've had a lot of broken bones in my life, close to 35. Usually fingers, toes, feet. When Dad would get in a drunken rage, he'd bend all my fingers backwards till they broke, and then he'd stomp my feet with steel toe boots when he had a foot. So I know stuff's been broken. The school nurses told me that, but since Dad doesn't believe in doctors, everything's just kind of healed on its own. So yeah, I don't walk real well. I limp bad, and my pinkies don't hold things, so things fall out of my hands all the time. That's why I'm part time at the Red Lobster currently, and I'm trying to be a masseuse to get the strength back in my hands.
Okay. And you said you've never gotten treatment for any of those broken bones?
Nope, they've all healed,
Okay.
and I suffer daily.
Okay. Are you on any medications currently?
Legally or illegally?
Both.
Well, I'm not on anything legally. What I do is smoke a lot of marijuana. I smoke a lot of weed, and occasionally I will do either cocaine or crack, whatever I can get my hands on, and it's cheaper.
Okay. We'll also go through that in a later section. I just wanted to write that down for now. So you guys don't have a family doctor that you see. Is that something that you guys would like a referral for?
Well, my wife Sharon, when she passed, she wrote in her will that she wanted us to get better, and to go actually see the damn quack of a doctor. So we just decided to start with this psychology stuff,
Okay.
and then we're gonna make an appointment for a doctor.
See, I have no desire to see a doctor. I've went 20 years in my life. As long as it's free, I'll go. That's the only way I'll go.
Okay, I can see what I can do in providing you guys a referral, and check through the price and everything with your insurance.
Well, I don't have.
Yeah, we
Has
don't
to be.
got that insurance.
Okay. I know there are a couple doctors here that will do a sliding scale. So we can always put in the referral and you guys can talk with the office and see if it's something that you can fit into your budget. Does that sound good?
Yeah, it sounds good.
Okay. And would you guys like to both see the psychiatrist on staff here, or would you like to be referred out to another psychiatrist?
I'd like to see everybody you have available, from a psychiatrist to a therapist to a doctor, a speech pathologist. Every single doctor I can see, I'd like to see them.
Yeah, might
Okay.
as well.
All right, I will make note of that and get that going as soon as we are done here today. So the next part is mental health treatment history. So Philip, or not Philip, sorry. Roger, have you ever been hospitalized for psychological or psychiatric reasons?
Nope, been in the drunk tank a couple times though.
Okay. And Philip, have you ever been hospitalized for
No, but my
psychiatric?
name as a kid growing up was kind of like a therapist. She'd sit on her front porch. I'd tell her all my problems and how much I hated that guy on the other side of the screen. And she would like give me cash and shake my hand and tell me everything was going to get better. So that's the only therapy I've ever been to.
You said that was your neighbor?
Yeah, her name was LaShonda. She was from Mississippi.
Good
Okay.
old LaShonda. She always made the best crab boil.
Good to know. She sounds like she was a kind of a good support for the family.
She's the only person me and the old man like between the two of us.
And have you guys ever done family counseling together, like what we're doing here today?
Nope.
No, but we've had drinks together, and that's what we consider therapy in our family, is getting wasted.
Okay. Well, you guys both said you've never been to individual counseling, right?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. So next we're going to talk about current habits, and we'll start with Roger. Roger, do you smoke cigarettes?
I used to, like 5 years ago. Quit smoking them because they started getting too expensive.
Do you ever gamble?
Not anymore, not since I was in my 20s.
And about how much alcohol do you think you consume in a day?
Let me see here. 1, 2, 3. About 17, 18 beers.
Per day?
Yep.
Okay. Do you use any drugs like marijuana, cocaine, meth, heroin, any of those?
Back in my youth, I used to do all that fun stuff. Now I just smoke the marijuana, grow my own plant out back.
Okay. Do you sorry. What is your caffeine intake for the day?
Usually just a cup of coffee.
How about exercise?
Well, I get up sometimes, walk across the house, sit back down in another chair.
Okay. So you don't do like walks outside or maybe go to a gym and like ride a bike or ride a bike outside? None of that.
Well, it's kind of hard to see how I only have one foot.
Oh, right. Um, do you go to physical therapy at all?
Nope.
Is that something that you would be interested in?
Perhaps.
Okay. About how much would you say you eat in a day?
Depends on the day. Some days, if the boy brings back food from Red Lobster, we eat good amount of cheddar biscuits. Make some casserole out of it. Other days, it's just if I have pizza laying next to me in bed.
Okay. How well do you sleep? How many hours do you sleep a night?
I sleep between 6 to 10 hours. I say that once I'm thoroughly drunk, I sleep pretty well.
Okay. And outside of like drinking and just kind of like doing normal day-to-day stuff, is there anything that you do for fun or like to relax? Do you ever go to like a library or go to the movies or anything like that?
Well, I got banned from the library because that's accidentally knocked over a bookshelf, and that's how I lost my foot.
Okay.
I like to go outside, look at the creek behind the house, throw rocks in there.
All right. And hold on just a second. All right, next we are going to talk about your habits, Philip.
Okay.
Just give me a minute here, sorry.
No, no, you take your time, lady.
My computer is just acting up right now.
Re-
Okay, Philip, so now we are going to go through your habits, just the same questions that I just asked your father. So let's start from the top. What are your smoking habits like?
Well, I am a real big fan of Black and Milds. So it's usually about 3 to 5 of those a day, plus about a half pack to a whole pack of Marlboro Menthol 100s. So you're looking at about 20 cigarettes, 5 cigars, and then usually about 2 or 3 blunts throughout the day. So, probably about 30 smokes a day. And, I start smoking as soon as I wake up, roll over, grab the lighter, smoke in bed. And I fall asleep smoking some nights.
Do you ever gamble?
I gamble a lot, actually. I love to bet on dog racing and horse racing. Last year, I lost close to $23,000 in gambling debt. For a while, I had a loan shark on my back, and life had its turns, and I won a bunch of money, paid him off, and so I stopped gambling with him. Started using those apps, you know, open
Mhm.
up a few credit cards to bet with the credit card. So it's really not my money. And then, when I max them out, my whole thing is file for bankruptcy, knock it dead.
Okay. Um, what about drinking? How much do you drink in a day?
Usually a 30 rack of Natty Light be gone in 2 days, so about 15 beers a day. But if I'm drinking like MD 2020 or Burnett's, it's a bottle at a time. Just depends on how I'm feeling and what's cheaper.
All right. You said earlier you smoke marijuana, um, but no other drugs, correct?
No. I've experimented with cocaine and crack. I like to do a lot of psychedelics, LSD, acid, mushrooms. The classics as we call them. I've shot up heroin a few times. Accidentally smoked PCP. I've had fentanyl. I've even done DMT, that toad venom Joe Rogan talks about. Uh, there's a drug out there. I've touched them all. It's just something I do in my free time as a hobby. You know how
Okay.
some people things, I do drugs.
Okay. And what about your caffeine intake?
So on a good day, it's 4 Red Bulls, and not the dinky 8-ounce cans, the 32, 4 of those. So we're looking at about 450 to 500 milligrams of caffeine a day.
All right. Do you exercise at all?
Yeah. I walk around a lot. I go for walks when I smoke because I don't like the marijuana smoke in the house. I usually do shifts at work as punishment. That's just how my boss is at the Red Lobster. He's a little bit of a hard ass, former Marine. So every time I screw something up, it's 10 push-ups. So I work out quite a bit. And then, as a masseuse in training, I got to really dig in. So I work my upper body. Excuse me. So I do a lot more than my dad. My dad's pretty lazy.
Okay. What about eating? What do your eating habits look like?
Well, we don't have a lot of money, so I eat whatever I can bring home from work that they're gonna throw out. I live on about 30 to 60 Cheddar Bay biscuits a day.
Okay.
Don't need anything but Cheddar Bay biscuits. That's my main food group. I can't tell you the last time I've had an actual like chicken sandwich or even peanut butter. I haven't had peanut butter since I was probably 9 years old. Dad said it's too dang expensive.
Well, it
Okay.
is.
So for sleeping, what does your sleep schedule look like?
I try not to. That's why I drink all that Red Bull. Sleeping gives me terrors and stuff like that. So I try to stay up for days at a time. I'll do a lot of caffeine, maybe smoke some meth. Um, try to stay up. I try to stay up between 3 and 6 days at a time. I don't like to sleep. It's very, very bad for me.
Okay. What about fun and relaxation?
Doing drugs. That's what I do to relax. I also spend time with a few lady friends. And then I like to gamble. That's another thing I do to relax is gamble.
Okay.
I also like to dye my hair.
All
One
right.
thing I
So the next thing we are going to talk about is stressful life events. And we're going to kind of just talk about these things surrounding your family as a whole. So either of you can answer. Just let me know what's going on, okay? So I know we said we had economic problems, or you said you had economic problems. And
Mhm.
Dad, is that mainly due to your foot?
Well, yeah, and
Yeah,
also all the beer we buy
he's a
and all the other stuff we do. And
not
my son Philip's gambling addiction. You know, son, your mom told before she passed, she told you to stop doing that.
listen, the credit cards are free money. There's nothing illegal about what I'm doing.
You gotta listen to your mother, son.
She's dead. But no, with dad's never worked an honest day in his life. The only money he did is from when he tried to rip off the government with tax fraud or, welfare scams, or he'd steal from my grandmother. He'd go over and trick her into needing to give us money, and he'd walk out with $500 and spend 10 on us, and the rest went to his drinking problem. That man spent more money on booze than we should have ever had. We were living in a single wide trailer that he could never pay for, and the only reason we got by was because my mom went to work, and she was no
Yeah.
saint.
Well, that's something that we can talk about in a later session. It's definitely something that I would like to dive into with you guys. So I will write that down and we can maybe talk about it in our next session, okay?
Yep.
Okay. Do either of you have any legal issues at the moment?
Well,
Well,
Dad's got his problems. I got mine. Well, the government
Currently's
about
currently
gambling.
suing Amazon for them trying to kill me with a forklift. I told them I can't operate it, but they still put me on that forklift and had me drive it.
And yeah, I got some legal parking tickets I haven't paid. I got a warrant for parking tickets. I also have some legal issues. They're trying to place a lien, whatever that is, on my wages for all the debt owed. So what I'm telling everybody now is to kind of pay me under the table. The only one that won't do it's Red Lobster, Uber, even DoorDash. So I'm trying to find jobs where I can lay low because the government doesn't need that money. They got enough money to print.
Okay.
So I'm in hot water with government over gambling and money owed and tax fraud, stuff like that. Just normal stuff people do.
Yeah, that's something that we can further discuss, and I can also get you referrals for anything that you would like a referral for regarding that. So the next stressful life event is family conflict or lack of support. Do you feel like there is conflict within the family? Just whether it's everyday conflict or it's something that's always ongoing.
Used to be everyday conflict. The damn boy didn't shut up half the time. Now he's gotten quieter.
Yeah, it's really the old man and me hate each other. The only reason we're doing this is because he's hurt and they were threatening legal action if we didn't see somebody, which is stupid. But me and the old man hate each other. We don't like each other. He's just a waste of human life, and I'm here, and everything
Okay.
that is my life is his fault.
Okay. And that's also, those are some things that we will dive into in later family sessions. So I will also take note of those. Any other stressful life events? I have written down that your wife died, Roger. How long ago was that?
It was about 2 months ago.
Okay.
she yeah, she had the cancer, and it's the only time I really took anyone to the hospital was for her to get treated for that.
Hmm. Well, I'm sorry about your loss, and I'm sure that has, created a lot of stress in both of your lives. Okay. Um, so the next question is, on a scale of 1 to 5, with 1 being distant and 5 being close, how close do you feel to your family members? And we'll start with you, Roger.
I'd say about 2 or 3.
Okay. And Philip?
About a half to a 1.
And then on a scale of 1 to 5, 1 being poorly and 5 being great, how well do you get along with your family members?
About a 1 or 2.
Okay. And
I get
Philip?
a 1.
Okay. So do you guys, sometimes we talk about like rules within the family, and that can look like, maybe dad does the dishes one day and then Philip, you do the dishes the next day, or it can look like always having each other's backs and stuff like that. Are there any specific like family or household rules that you guys kind of hold in your day-to-day lives?
I'll do the dishes from time to time.
I try to use paper plates as much as possible. I don't like dealing with that kind of stuff. I try not to do any chores. I try to be as lazy as possible because it's not my job to take care of that. That's what mom was for and dead now. So I'm not going to
Okay.
step up to not my problem.
Um, and the next question is, what are your expectations for counseling? And Roger, I'll have you tell me what yours are first, and then Philip, you'll go after.
Well, I kind of expect to try and smooth things out here with my son. I know we don't exactly have the best relationship, but I want to try and make things right for the future. I can't fix the past.
Okay. That is something we can definitely work on. And it's usually always a big, expectation for family therapy. So Philip, what would your expectations for therapy be?
Oh, maybe if I do well, you guys will tell my PO, and if I go to jail, my sentence will be less because I'm going through therapy. That's my whole thing is I'm doing this to kind of dampen the blow and avoid going to jail. I got a lot going on where I'm gonna probably go to jail. So if I can do this, I won't go to jail, maybe. But other than that, I have no expectations. I don't think I'm going to stop doing drugs. I don't think I'm going to stop drinking. But I might be a little bit easier to deal with, maybe. I don't know. You tell me.
All right. Well, we never force people to do things that they don't want to do. We will, work collaboratively as a team and um, figure out what your goals are as a family and also individually. Um, and that's kind of like our next session in this assessment. It talks about treatment objectives, and it gives a whole list. So would you guys say that improving communication is a treatment objective of yours?
I'm not sure what that question was asked, man.
So in therapy with me and your father, would you, and this includes you, Roger, too, is improving the way you guys communicate something that would be of interest to you?
Yeah, I mean, if you can make the old man better and make him tolerable, I'll do it.
And Roger?
Well, basically what the boy said.
Okay. Is conflict resolution something that you guys would like to work on, like learning how to get through fights or just everyday conflicts without it causing a big wave of like emotions and stuff in the household?
Preferably get the police called on us less.
Okay.
Yeah. So yeah, it's starting to add up. You know, we need somebody to solve all our problems.
Okay, and that's actually one of the choices is problem solving. I unfortunately am not a problem solver. I will guide you guys through that process, but it's something that we all have to work on together as a team. How about more emotional safety? So that could look like either of you going up to one another and being like, hey, this is how I feel, and not having retaliation from the other family member.
Yeah, that works. I mean, the old man likes to fight about everything. That'll be up to him if he can change that.
Mhm.
Okay. Um, how about more respect and understanding in the relationship you guys have?
What are we supposed to understand?
Be
Like
nice.
where one another are coming from in certain situations.
I mean, yeah, I think that's a cool idea.
Okay. How about power and control issues?
Well, you're talking to the control on the side of the screen.
Mhm.
So yeah, I want a bit of my own piece of the pie. I'm tired of it.
Okay. Would you guys like to find hobbies to do together as a family?
I don't even know what kind of hobbies we would do.
Well,
Besides drinking.
that's something we can find out as a family. You know, there's lots of community events that happen around here that are either free or they're very discounted prices, and that might be, you know, a good bonding experience.
Yeah, whatever works, I guess.
Mhm.
Is resolving individual issues something that you guys both want to work on? Would you want, um, on top of family therapy, would you each like your own individual therapist?
Yeah, I'm gonna need that.
It's what Sharon would have wanted, so yes.
Okay. Hmm. All right. So thinking about all of those things we just talked about, what have you already tried to address the difficulties that you have surrounding those topics?
Well, honestly, just a lot of drinking.
Okay.
I mean, that's our favorite thing to do together is get wasted and fist fight. I've had
Mhm.
more fist fights with that old man. We'll see, have a case race, see who can finish first, and then we'll punch each other's lights out and wake up with
Yeah.
black on the floor next. We like to fight. That's what men do. We fight. So I think that's the hobbies we enjoy is fist fighting.
Well, the last time you punched me, it reset all the fingers in your left hand.
Yeah. So I think fist fighting is a hobby we enjoy. Maybe wrestling.
And the next one is, whose idea was it to come to family therapy?
Moms.
Sharon's.
Okay.
Something that she always wanted to do, but she left in her will that we got to go do it. So those things be legally binding. So we got to go do it.
All right. So we've talked a lot about negative things, and I think that it's a good time to talk about strengths as a family. I myself have noticed that while there is, drinking and alcohol involved when you guys hang out, you do hang out. And that's something that we could turn into a positive and really, make it a special time for you guys, because I think that you guys might feel disconnected right now. So I think that that is one strength that we can work with of yours. And I also wanted to acknowledge how open both of you have been with me. That's made it really easy to get through, this assessment and get to the bottom of things, and it will help us a lot as we go along. So now I kind of want to hear from your guys's, or from you guys, what you think your strengths are as a family.
Well, we both really enjoy listening to local sports teams on our radio.
Yeah, I was gonna say radio's free, so that's why we use the radio so much. But me and the old man really like listening to NASCAR on Sundays. That's our favorite. We also
Mhm.
watching basketball if we get the chance. If not, we like to listen to basketball.
And during the summer, it's always nice listening to them baseball games.
Yeah, we don't have a TV in the house, so we usually sit on the front porch and drink beer and listen to games. And we love Dale Earnhardt in our house. He's more important than Jesus.
Mm-hmm.
So another thing that I have caught on to sort of is your Roger, your devotion to what you feel your wife would have wanted. And I think that's a really big strength. And I think that, she's gone now, but we can use that to motivate and really, work on things. And we can also bring to the table like the way she impacted you guys positively and all of that. So I think that's something that it's a positive thing that we will be able to work with.
All right.
So the next question is, make at least 3 suggestions for something you could personally do to improve your relationship regardless of what your family members do. So what that means is, Roger, you could, I don't know, you could stop maybe drinking as much, like maybe cut down, just make some like personal improvements that maybe would help with the relationship between you and Philip. So Roger, is there anything that you can think of that you would be willing to do yourself that might help the relationship between the two of you?
Probably get a job and help pay the bills that way.
Yeah, I mean the house is paid off, which is nice, but everything else is we try not to use any
Mhm.
water or any electricity. We don't use much heat either. We're barely getting by on what I make between my 4 jobs. I think as a recommendation, I think I might want to stop doing hard drugs and stick to the classics, the old school stuff, like marijuana, shrooms, maybe even a little bit of acid, LSD here and there, but maybe cut out the heroin and cut out the crack. And those don't make me real easy to go around, and the meth and whatever drug I choose is, it's hard. So maybe I should just kind of tame it down. But that'll also make me sleep, and that's the last thing I need to do is sleep.
Well, I can make you guys both a referral to substance use counselors. We have those at this clinic, and they will help you work with, the array of, sorry, I'm yawning, the array of substances that you guys use. And I think that could help improve the relationship a little better. And Philip, on the point of your nightmares, there are some medications that deal with nightmares. And if you talk to our psychiatrist about it, he probably would be willing to evaluate you for that. And it would make sleeping a little easier for you because the nightmares would be controlled.
Yeah, I mean it's rough. You tell me, not sleeping for 3 weeks, like that ain't gonna help you.
Right. So the next couple questions are kind of hard, but they're of course things we have to go through. So has anyone in your family physically restrained, harmed, or injured the other person? You said you guys fight sometimes. Is that ever is it out of malice? Like, do you guys do it because you're mad at each other, or?
Sometimes
Mhm.
more test the strength.
Sometimes we're just mad at life.
Yeah, we like to see who can go punch for punch and not get knocked out. I think our record's like 14, 15 hits. Something like that. I mean, we've had, black guys, broken noses. I've lost 4 teeth. We just beat the crap out of each other. It's fun.
Okay. The next question is, do you guys feel like your family is at risk for splitting up? Like, do you think that you guys will always be supports to each other, or do you think that that's something that, if you don't get the help now, would eventually happen?
I don't know. I think we're kind of just needing each other like roommates.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. And the next question is, do you perceive that one another has withdrawn or given up trying to work things out?
I don't know. I think we struggle.
Mhm.
I think we really have that many problems.
We struggle, but we keep trying to work things out, even though it doesn't work.
Yeah.
So you guys feel like you're both, you know, trying your hardest to work things out, but sometimes you don't always see eye to eye. And I'm sure with, Sharon's passing, that's kind of created a wedge that can make it hard to process emotions together.
Mhm.
Yeah.
So the next question is, what is your current level of stress overall? 1 being no stress, or 5 being extremely stressed? And this is an individual question. So Roger, we'll have you go first and answer that.
Well, I don't know exactly what the stress thing is, so I'll say about 3.
Okay. And Philip, what about you? What do you feel your stress level is?
Say numero uno. I don't have stress.
And the next one is still about stress, but it's stress within the family. What do you think the current level of stress is between the two of you?
I don't know. Probably like a 1 or 2.
Maybe 1 or 2.
Okay. So the next thing, we are going to talk about the top 3 concerns that you have in your family, with 1 being the most problematic. And Roger, you can go first.
I'm sorry, one more time. Kind of
The
cut
top,
out there for me.
oh, sorry, the top 3 concerns that you have in your family. So, like, maybe uh, whether it's drug use or like, the way you guys get along, any of that stuff.
I would probably say it's drug use. Um, and just trying to actually get to know each other instead of me being this old guy that he hates.
Mhm. Is there anything else that is a concern to you?
Nope.
And Philip, what are 3 concerns that are uh, that you have between
I-
you and your dad?
The drinking problem under control between me and him.
Okay.
That's a big bad thing. I think we should eat more than Cheddar Bay biscuits. I think eating a different kind of food, if we could afford it, that's the problem. We don't have the money to afford food. And, I think we should get a welfare card or whatever they call those. And then finally, my biggest problem is I think, I think we should get under wraps. What am I doing with life? I'm 34 years old. I still live at home. The only women I've been with are women I paid for. I kind of like to date somebody or meet somebody and maybe move out of the house, but I just feel like I can't leave the old man.
Mm.
Okay, and that's something we can definitely talk about and work through together. the next question is, how important is it to you to improve the quality of your family relationships? And this is from a scale of 1 to 10, with 1 being not important and 10 being extremely important.
Um, give me 1 second here.
I'd say about a 6. I just think we need to work on things. I don't have much of a life, and the only person I got is the old man.
Yeah, I'd say about a 6 or a 7.
Okay.
Some life in my life.
On a scale of 1 to 10, with 1 being not willing and 10 being extremely willing, how willing are you to make working on these relationships a priority in your life?
Oh man, I'd say about a 6 to 7 again. Just because I don't want to, it to take over my whole life. I got World of Warcraft to play, and drugs to smoke and beers to drink. But
I'd say about a 7 or 8.
I want to get along with the old man.
Mm-hmm. Okay. So that was the end of the assessment. And the next thing I would like to do is kind of just talk about, like, make a specific goal for our time together.
You
So both,
How many more questions do we have?
not very many. This is just the last one.
Okay, the only reason I asked is my eyes are starting to hurt.
Okay. So the goal we want is, we want it to be specific. So, we could say, oh, we, want to try and get to know each other more. That's kind of a broad goal. So what we can do is break it down and say, well, we want to, spend more productive time together. And that can look like, maybe going to the park together, or, watching or listening to NASCAR and stuff like that without, the use of alcohol or drugs. So what
I think
do
the
you
main
guys?
I would like, and I don't mean to interrupt.
No, you're okay.
I just want to leave it because I don't want to lose the thought. What I would like is I'd like to actually sit down and get to know my old man. I know his name is Roger. I know his birthday is on June 3rd. But other than that, I don't really know a ton about Roger. I'd like to get to know him. I'd like to hear some of his stories. Maybe
Yeah.
not drink a beer for once and see how life is. I'd like to picture life without the inebriators or whatever they call those things. Maybe kind of live life.
Yeah, I was always told by my pappy to not let anyone know anything about you.
Okay, well, would you be willing at least to let your son in a little and let him get to know you and you
I
get to know
suppose.
him? Okay, that would be great. And I should have started the session by saying this, but anything you guys say in here is confidential, meaning that no one else will hear about it. It's specifically just going to be in the electronic medical record, and me as your primary case holder will be the only one accessing it. If you choose to receive other services, the other service providers will be able to look at it. But anything you say to me, unless it puts yourself or others in harm's way, will be, it will remain in our therapy sessions. So what's said here stays here unless you're going to hurt yourself or others.
Good old
Um,
hippo.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, we just, we want to create a safe place for you guys to be able to come and talk and rebuild relationships and that kind of stuff.
Well, that sounds nice.
Are there any other questions that you guys have for me today?
Are
Not
all
really.
this long?
No, not all of them will be this long. This was just our initial intake assessment, and I had to ask you all those questions just to get, you know, kind of a background on both of you and the way your family works and all that. And it'll be a little less structured. And we'll kind of just go with the flow a little more from here on out, while still working on some of the things we talked about. Well, if you guys don't have any more questions, you are free to sign off. And it was really nice talking to both of you.
Mm-hmm.
Thanks, lady.
Thank
Yep.
you.
Bye-bye.
Goodbye.
Bye.